Hello and welcome to a new game review. This game will certainly be interesting. Let's get through it. The beginning is certainly advantages for me, at the very least from my perspective, because I can develop the middle. He wants to attack my pawn, and I decide to develop my horses while I protect the pawn at the same time. He decides to move the queen here, uncertain exactly why. We'll look later in the analysis to see if this is one of known moves and it can develop into something better. I didn't know exactly. I didn't want to clear this side yet, so I just thought to develop my horses even more and protect the pawn in case he wants to go with the queen. I know he's protected by the queen, but going the horse would be better. He decides to take the pawn. I decide to move my horse as well. He seems to move his horse here. I'm unsure why precisely, maybe just to stop me from going this way, but it wouldn't be protected anyway. And I was thinking here that maybe I can go here and threaten the queen, and then I just need to move my pawn, and he will be forced to move his queen, and then I just take a free pawn or move even forward. He takes this, I take this, I get check. Maybe I win something. So I move my bishop in this move. He decides to go for a free pawn. I kind of dislike this move because I lost a pawn for free. So I decide to move here with a rook just to switch it. There was maybe I could have moved the rook here. I thought about it, but he was just going to run away or take this pawn here, and then I would give one more free pawn. I knew that he wasn't going to eat the rook because it would not be a good exchange for him. So I decided to just go ahead with the rook here. He moves his horse. I was thinking here where I should move. If I'm going here, then I'm going to lose the horse. Here, not really, because it's protected by the pawn. And probably I could have freed this in hindsight, but I'm thinking, okay, let's just get rid of that issue, check him, so he's forced to be either move a pawn or just move his horse from there, and he decides to move the horse instead of ruin his lines. Well, it was a bet I wanted to make it in case he moved the pawn, then he would have ruined his line of defense here for a future castle. So I do mine. He decides to go back. I decide to move forward with the plan. Um, and yeah, because he's forced to move the queen, he won't be able to take with the horse. He decides to move back. I decide to take the pawn because, well, otherwise I would have given it for free. Instead of going with the pawn, he goes with a queen. So I decide here to try and put some pressure on this angle. So if he wants to castle, then I will be able to quickly attack that. I was thinking from here another angle that I was thinking like maybe I bring the queen here and pin the other one, the other queen, because of the king, but then it's not protected, so it would be a dumb choice. But what if I can move the bishop here? And now it's protected by the rook, so it's basically a double investment here for the future and here for the present. He foresees this and moves his pawn here. So I'm thinking that I can still threaten the queen and make it, well, run away and see if he makes a mistake or something. But anyway, I'm developing my piece further from this one. Here it was a pretty good move because if I move my horse anywhere, then he can freely take the queen. Surely I can take it with the rook, but I still have to think about where to move the horse. And obviously, there are two moves that's gonna be bad, three moves that's gonna make me lose it. I could go here and threaten the queen again, go here and I'm gonna block the rook and here back where it was. I decide to move the pawn here because I was thinking that I can move here and pressure the queen. And if he takes the pawn, then I was thinking of maybe finding a way, a combination to go about and force like a check on the king, but with only one move. So at best, I wanted it to be moved. So with that in mind, I moved the pawn here so I can check the king. And then a complex strategy would develop further. For now, let's see what he moves. He moved here to threaten the horse. And here I'm not sure if here or the next one I'm starting to think in more abstract means. If I would go here with the queen and I check the king, a very good combination for me would be if he moves the pawn here, because then I can take it with a horse. And if he hurries to take the horse, then here, because the queen would be here, I would be able to take the rook for free. So that's a good combination for me. Now, else, if I come here and check the king and he moves the bishop here, I have a second idea, and that would have been to basically, well, if it wasn't for the queen here, move the horse here, he takes it, I take this one, and I I fork the king with the rook. But obviously the queen is here, so I need her to kind of go away. And also moving this pawn would allow for the in two moves basically. I need to move the horse, I think maybe here to threaten the queen. Then when I move here, I will protect it with a bishop. And I decided to move the pawn here. Honestly, in hindsight, maybe I should have gone here so I can develop in these two things because he can take the pawn for free. But yeah, I was more like, you're gonna take my horse, I'm gonna take your queen, simple exchange. What are you gonna do? If he takes the pawn, then I can do exactly this. He moves here, then I can take the horse here, and yeah, if he takes this one with the pawn, then that would be another combination that I was thinking. Take this one with the bishop if he wants to take with the rook um, after after I like check with the queen, so the queen would be here, then I would be able to take the rook, and I exchanged a horse, a pawn, and a bishop, which is 7 points, which would not be worth it. But for in my mind back then, I was like, that sounds like an interesting combination. I didn't think that it's not worth it right then. Um, Instead of taking a free pawn here, he moves with the queen back, which kind of makes me greedy. Here I could force a fork, if it wasn't for this pawn, obviously. But at the same time, it allows me to check the king. And here it was a really good test to see if he does this or he does this. Because if he does this at this point in time, because he refused to take the pawn, I can just move the pawn forward and fork both of them. And then he would have to take me with the pawn. I would take with the horse. And now I'm threatening the queen. Now what are you going to do? Are you going to move the queen out or going to take the horse? Because if you take the horse here, then I'm gonna fork the king and the rook. But the worst thing about this was that I could not take the rook anymore because the queen was there to protect it. Well, anyway, I he moves the bishop to protect. I fork them. He decides to take it. Then I take it with the horse. He takes it with the bishop. I decide to, well, take it. Um, and now he moves the horse. Honestly, the horse is pinned, and I cannot take the rook. Now that I'm thinking about it, this one would have probably been a pretty easy move to do to force on the rook. But then the rook would have come here, um, and yeah, probably this one is something that I would still choose to do because the horse is pinned by the queen. Um, and I think this is exactly what I'm doing. No, I decided to bait the rook out because if he takes the bishop, then I'm taking the rook with the queen. It's a favorable trade for me, and I was like, I'm already winning a pawn. If you want to take the bishop in exchange for that, then I'm still gonna win 2 points on top of the bishop. So I'll be plus 3, nah, plus 2 points because now we're on equal terms. He doesn't go for it. Instead, he moves the bishop here, which I'm unsure exactly why he did that. There was no way for me to. Maybe he imagined I'll go here with the rook and then take it. Yeah, maybe he was thinking that because I wanted to eliminate this pawn, I'll go with the rook here. So he preemptively moved ahead. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, that's a good idea, but I wasn't thinking about that. Now, I was thinking also of adding the rook here to put more pressure on the horse, and then move here to do like the final battle or something like that. But instead, I decided to do what I previously said and threaten the queen. I was like, the queen is trapped here. Maybe another move I could have done is to move the bishop here, I think. Like before this, to move the bishop here. And then these both would be uh, threatened basically. If he wanted to move anywhere down this line, I would find a way to take it. Probably the safest one would have been to come here. Um, but yeah, let's go on with the game. We'll see later on what would have been better to do. So basically here I'm thinking that because I'm covering all the pieces, he will be forced to come here, which it does. And I'm thinking from here, all these pieces are protected. Like this one is protected, this one is not protected anymore, but as long as I'm threatening his queen, he's not gonna go for the bishop, right? And I'm thinking I'm gonna go here and threaten the queen from two sides, right? Like, he can't do much. But then I realized it. If I, right now, he's in a very good position. He can take, um, he can take my bishop, and because like I was thinking very much in advance. For example, these ones are busy, these ones are taken. The only position, like if he wants to come from my rook, I will still win it. There's nowhere where it can go on that line. The only one it can go is here, basically. And if he went with the queen here, then I would have decided to come with the bishop here. Um, since I had the protection of the rook. And then he would have to basically either try to force his way through it or try to run away. Um, Here I don't remember exactly what he did, but he really surprised me because like I was thinking, if you move with the queen here, then if you move with the queen anywhere else, what's gonna happen? And he surprises me with this move. Like I completely didn't. Sorry, I spoiled it in advance. Um, okay. I wanted to press an arrow back and it went all the way to the end. Yeah, I just didn't. I completely missed the fact that if he moves with the rook here to take the bishop, I will not be able to take the queen because he will take a bishop and a queen. And yep, that would be very ugly for me. So I was really surprised. As you can see, there's a lot of time that I spent. It's like from the minute 11 until the sixth minute. I was like, okay, let's take that advice and think ahead with strategies and plans. And I completely missed this. And he also spent a lot of time. He spent 7 minutes thinking about this. For a second, I thought I had it, but he managed to find a good answer. And from here on, well, the spoiler is already there, so no need to uh, pretend we don't know what's going to happen. I completely go on a blunder spree. It's like I lost not really the motivation because I was still motivated to win. It's like I lost all resemblance of logic or strategy, and I just went even worse than in previous matches. I would have gone just following quote unquote my guts. Here, obviously, I take the rook. He takes the bishop. There was nothing quite better to do. Now, perhaps if I was a little bit more inspired, I would have tried to bring the rook here to give a resemblance of pinning on the queen. Instead, I decide to check the king. He decides to protect the king. Here I knew that if I moved the rook here, like I would have liked to brute force my way to the king, well, he could steal castle. He would take it to the horse. So I decided to pin the horse again and bring the rook. This time to do something that probably I should have done far earlier. He decides to castle, which kind of puts a pin on my plans. I still go ahead with it because now I can't brute force my way to the king, but no risk of, I mean, the horse is kind of pinned now because of the rook. I will take the queen. But I completely missed the fact that he can go for my queen. And here, in hindsight, it would have been better to trade maybe um, for the queen, because if I traded for the queen, he would take my queen, then I would take another rook, and then he would take my rook. Um, and then I would still be left with a rook, and he would have a horse and a bishop. Um, So yeah, instead I took with a horse here. I was like, I found the very best solution to solve it. And honestly, I why I thought it's a good solution is because if he took this rook thinking that he can checkmate me, I was protecting that rook. But I missed completely the fact that the queen had access to the rook. Massive blunder on my end. Yeah, and from here on, I was like, yeah, I'm losing this, and he's very well protected there. I'm not sure how am I gonna win this. Um, I cannot threaten the queen in any form. Maybe just go with the rook here and then try to build from there. Instead, I went all the way here, thinking that I might push through the bishop just to save points. I didn't have any strategy in mind, honestly. And now I got myself caught because now the rook is trapped. So the only thing that can reasonably do here is, well, go back to protect the rook. Otherwise, I would have had to sacrifice the queen for the bishop, for the rook, and then the bishop would take the queen. Then, if I want to take it and like deliver a checkmate, then the queen would win, and then I would have just one move to prolong the inevitable. And then he takes my rook. I take it back. He still has the same advantage. Now I'm thinking maybe I should exchange it for uh, for the queen, and he would still have advantage with the rook, and try to somehow lead this one to victory. But yeah, I completely blundered this. I don't know why I thought I'm gonna go for this rook in case he moves the king, and if he doesn't move the king, then I'll come here and attempt a check. Again, I missed that he was covering that square. He moved his pawn, and I was like, oh yeah, now I can still check you, right? But I failed to see diagonally. It's like my mind just went completely narrow-minded, and he took a minute to take this. He was like thinking, is this a trap or something, or is it just like a very bad move? And from here, it's not long until it's checkmate. Here I was more so struggling for a maybe I can get a cheeky draw, but yeah, he was good enough to not allow me to have it. All right, let's see a bit the review now, and exactly two great moves, four misses, one blunder each. Yeah, so not two blunders. I expected worse. Okay, this is a mistake. Okay. I thought there was something hidden in this one. I'm curious what follow-up I was recommending. Ah, yeah, okay, sure. And if he takes, then I take, and I threaten the queen. I see. Good to know. Um, yeah, I suppose it's a miss. Wait, pass then. Okay. Yeah, I just saw it. Okay. This is also considered inaccuracy. Okay, is a mistake. Why? Okay, that's exactly what happened, I suppose. Then what would have been better? The queen? Why? Can you tell me why? Not here, apparently. Okay. Um, maybe put pressure on the line with the king. Okay, that's a good move on his side. Okay, that actually ends up happening. He moves back, which is a good move. I go in there, I take it, which is a good move. This is a mistake on his side. What could I do? Okay, he end up doing that. Oh, okay. Oh, hold on a second. I need to follow this correctly. So I get there. He moves to the right. I threaten it again. I cannot go here because it's protected. I move forward. Maybe to bring the rook here and deliver a checkmate. Oh, and this to protect the bishop that will threaten the queen. He takes that. I check. Oh, okay, because now it's okay because it's protecting now. Takes, take, take, take. Huh, interesting combination. If all of that would have happened that way. And we would be equaling gains, it seems. Okay. I forgot exactly. Okay. So I missed the opportunity because I moved the rook here instead of moving the horse. But yes, and then I could not have gone here anymore because of the pawn, right? Um, no, not follow up. Would have been the best move. Oh, okay, because I would force the queen to go up. Okay, and then I would have blocked it, I think. Hold on a second, it's too complicated. I need to take it slow. So it would move there. Okay, then. Oh, okay, I would protect the queen so we don't exchange her. I don't know why he would move back though. Okay. Okay, I think I'm not understanding exactly the development here. Alright, then he goes back to threaten the queen, which is protected. Okay, he has to move that, then I move back. Or we could have done it before too anyway. Honestly, why move the bishop here when I could take the queen? Yeah, see? Still narrow-minded. I didn't see that. Damn. I need to get my glasses checked. Seems like I'm missing obvious things. Alright, I moved the horse here. Yeah, here would have been better now because I could develop the horse more. He moved to the right correctly, then I moved the pawn, which, okay, it's a good move. It's an excellent move. It's, what would have been the best then? Okay, and then he moves down, and I run away the horse. I can't say I understand it completely. Okay, he moves there. This is a great move. What is the follow-up? Okay, it's exactly what I end up doing. Well, not in this particular order. Then they've been like this, then like this. Okay, I see. Actually, no, it this, then this. Yeah, like this, then like this. And if he wants to take it, then I can take it. Okay, interesting. Okay, this is exactly how it happened, but he did this. Okay, what's the follow-up they can do? Okay, I did this. Okay, I see. Oh, okay, next. All right, I take it, he checks that, and I take the bishop. Okay, so I was right with my feeling, my gut feeling that I had to move this one here to put more pressure on the horse, even though I didn't plan to attack it. I told her like I need this one more. Okay, it is a good move. Uh, Seems like the better move would have been to move here. And it is considered a blunder. Okay. Yeah. And then he would have still had +3 on his side. But on my luck, he ran away with the queen, which is solidly in my advantage, seems like. Okay, this is considered a great move. Right? Right? This is exactly what I calculated. That he's going to move his queen here. But let's see. Oh, okay, exactly what I wanted to do. Exactly what I wanted to do. Just that here I imagine that he's gonna move the rook here. Nah, the rook here. Uh, and then I take it, he takes that. Yeah. Well, and I will end with +5 points. But he does this. And okay, and now, okay, so this was a miss. Here I could have done something greater. What? Hold on a second. Oh my fucking god. Yeah. Because um, it would be a check. Because, yeah, because it would be forced to do a check. And then I would be able to check the king. And then, oh my god. I was so close to this beauty. And I missed it. I missed it completely. Wow, okay. So, in fact, my planning was pretty good. Just I failed to execute something great here because I thought of this. And it's still a miss out. I'm still in advantage, but yeah, this would have been damn great. Okay. Okay. And this is considered a miss. What would have been the best move for me? Okay. Huh. Yeah. This would have been another good move that I could have had. But instead I decided to check him. And then, yeah, I see. So this would have been a good move. No, this still probably could work. Now check the king. Oh, blunder. I could still do that. Concept the best, okay. And probably I'm taking this one. Or, no, yeah, because I can't. And it recommends to go like this. What I think to do would be this. Then it's gonna be this. Okay. Yeah, eventually I take this one. Ah, okay, I see. Yeah, well, I'm really sad because this could have been very good for me, but I just failed to see this simple move. Wow. It was such now that I know it, it's like seems so easy. I feel even more ashamed. To be fair, I wanted to like run away from this match and not review it at all, but I said like I have to be consistent about it. So yeah, I need to go through it. And even if I don't play a new game today, I still have to review it and go at it again from tomorrow. Consistency should be key. And I failed here so hard, and I still could have salvaged it if I would have moved here. And obviously, he would have done something else, like maybe going here. No, it's still consider good. Yeah, I would still take the queen. All right. Well, thanks for following it with me. It was a longer video than usual. And also, my honor took a bit of a blow here. Not precisely because of the loss, but the way I lost. And now that I'm seeing that I missed two good ways to salvage from it. Oh well, I'll just have to pay more attention in the future and be more aware of these things. Well, thank you for staying with me so far to the end, I suppose, and see you on the next one.